if I just hit the start streaming, I wonder what happens here. Here, we've hit the stream button. Does it come back on? It says end stream, so it must be working. I wonder if it's still the same stream or not, though. There, it says, hey, we're back. But now you can see now it says no viewers. So I don't know. Let's just see. I hit the button again. Is it on? Maybe it's a whole brand new YouTube. Yeah, I only see one person. It might even be like a whole new YouTube address and the whole thing. That's a shame. Well, there is the new, and I guess it's a good thing nobody's watching this. So
It's a new address.
is it? It's a brand new address.
Yeah.
Jerks.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting.
That video ended at 13 minutes.
What a bummer, eh?
Yeah.
I suppose we had to expect that. I wouldn't even be surprised if the internet like blows up here. It's like the whole West has sort of become dependent on this now. And I wouldn't be surprised if they get into like socialized internet access. You only have a certain amount of time a day, or you have to pay top premium rates. But anyway, so let's see, how am I going to do this? I guess we'll go on the...
We are live again.
Yeah, so no swearing. Yeah, so I guess we'll do that. I don't know whether that'll work or not. I don't know what happens. Anyway, there it is. You didn't say something about Winnie, did you? Actually, I don't think I did. I am listening to a bunch of YouTubers, man. They are going off about China, going right off the deep end now, so that's kind of funny. Again, I guess when you do these sort of live shows and stuff like that and things fall off the rails, you got to try and figure out what the hell to do and just sort of keep your head on straight. So I don't know if I've lost all you guys. There's, the one good part about it is whenever I come back into the hangout and look, there's Ben with a nice big smile. So I know everything's going to be all right. And actually, he said that he had his wife remodel the kitchen here. So he's no longer reporting in with the snow. At least it's better that you're indoors. So, but it looks good. He's got a handsome background. Paul won't even turn the camera on because it's early in the morning for him, so he's still getting out of bed. He's got the sleep in his eyes.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, I have no idea if this is totally derailed or not, but we'll try our best. We'll see how we do. What was I saying? Oh, yeah, Bitcoin. So we did our last report where that arrow was. Interesting how we had a nice little consolidation through the sort of late winter, early spring. And, of course, interestingly enough, we actually did that report right around when Mr. Putin did his wonderfulness there, and I wonder to a certain degree if that's a big cause of the second leg down here in risk assets. I don't know. I mean, I would love to be able to report to you, hey, the bottom is in and it's straight up from here. But I even said, one of TRI's principals, Julian, was on the call on Friday, and I kind of just was like, just be really, really careful in this kind of environment. That's not like, we like those J-Lo booty bottoms, that just look so nice and just very well defined and handsome. This looks like sharp down and then kind of not really the best looking bottom here. So I'm not overly convinced that this is a bottom. Also, too, the profile, it looks very empty. I mean, ironically enough, by the end of this correction, and when this thing's ready to go for its next leg, this whole part of the profile, actually probably not that way, probably like this. This whole part of the profile's got to look filled in. So you can see we got a lot of back and forth to do over time. So with that said, I mean, I'd probably say yes to trade location. And momentum divergence, it's meh. I don't really see a strong momentum signal here, which kind of sucks, people. I would like to say that, hey, we're ready to rock and roll. So unfortunately, I think probably the best I can do is I can say trade location, meh. Momentum, meh. Price structure, meh. It's a whole bunch of meh. My apologies. I mean, it's just not much to get excited about. Let's see if I can do that. And then we'll go like that. Then we'll go in RLZ, so that's always a good sign. Momo div, I'm going to say meh. And price structure, I'm going to say meh. I just don't see it yet. So, we kind of wanted to try and... Well, you know what? Before I go on any further with this, I want to just do a poll with my co-hosts. If your YouTube video gets stopped out, just gotta hit the button again. Okay, so we're just humming along. Did you guys have to load up a new page though? Because it's interesting how some people are saying, "Hey, we're back." So anyway, I hope.
Yeah, I had to load up a new page. Yeah, it looks like we picked up some more viewers though, so
that's always a bonus.
Yeah,
right on.
This is where they were.
Probably some of Bush's CIA buddies are like, "Oh my God, that Beamish guy talking about crypto again. We better keep an eye on him." Actually, it's interesting. Speaking of Bitcoin, I did this chart out recently, and this is kind of what I'm thinking here. I like the idea that we swish down, then we had to, we'll have sort of our normal seasonal rally. I just don't know how big this rally is going to be. And then I'm worried that heading into the fall, especially into the U.S. election, I think there's going to be a probe against the lows. And this is a fascinating image because in level oneers, the very first thing they have to learn is just understanding market structure and M's and W's. And really simply put, anybody can learn from this. Big old fat M right there. You sell that breakdown there level, you're going to risk against a break at the top of the M. And, even now, if you had the position open, right, and you're just sitting there on this position, that's better than 3-to-1 risk reward. Where we are now, right? 2.92 to 1. And that's, maybe I had the downside target, played the bot kind of idea, 3-to-1. So, thought it was interesting. After this hit its downside objective, instantly, boom, 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 a W came in. And the W at one point was looking pretty smart. Hey, look at me. I'm a trader. Look at me. I'm kicking butt. Then all of a sudden, oh, Brad, man, your W suck horse. You know what? Yeah, I suck, man. I'm dying. But interesting, look at this. And, I even mentioned this on the site today, how the price just basically stopped right here. That's usually a tell I've found personally, that when you get a whole bunch of price volatility and then things, kind of dead cat bounce off of lows, establish a range, and then we just go quiet like this, absolutely dead. And then also notice, what a coincidence, we're in that higher time frame reload zone, 61.8 to 78.6. But we're also in this reload zone, right? Just off of that dead cat bounce off of the lows. And then there was another reload zone, so like a triple reload zone. What a surprise. The market's actually working its way higher. So, ironically enough, this W, I think, is just what's working right now. And we teach everybody on the site this, that we don't even know whether this down move is even done until we actually see this 38.2 level here resolved. That level right there, I like to call it the first stop target. And sometimes, right, in this case, like bounce or rally. So, first stop, that's where you usually bounce against. And of course, we had a guy on the site who seems to have a pretty good following over there, I think, Hero. Colin, he likes to call this in this particular case, it would be the dump chaser zone. So don't go and sell here, but just wait for that 38.2 bounce to 50% roll, and then hunt your short ideas if you still think this is a bear. So I'm in that sort of camp right now, and it's interesting how 2-1 of this original W and now this W, which happens to be almost exactly the same level, just so happens to be that 38.2. So I do like the idea of that bounce into that sort of window. Following that, though, oh boy, I don't know. Especially with this crazy year. Unfortunately, we're in one of those years. I always tell students, years gone by, recessions usually happen in years that ends in 8s, 9s, 0s, 1s, and 2s. And I actually think that this last recession was supposed to happen in 2018, 2019, but then this crazy Trump guy came along and totally upset the apple cart. And then to get sort of everything back on schedule, the 1% came along and did their Wuhan cerveza gift to the world. I don't know. Crazy conspiracy theories. Who knows? And interesting, the United States is still wrangling with Mr. Orange Toupee. That story ain't over by a long shot, and I wouldn't even be surprised if he becomes president again. So don't think for a moment he's gone. But anyway, he sure did ruffle a lot of feathers around the world, and I think the world that we're living in right now is nothing more than a reaction to his very chaotic tenure. But anyway, especially in my world, because the leader of my country was humiliated by Mr. Trump, and I think there was sort of a catalyst at which Mr. Trump sort of shot his wad. And interestingly enough, on the global stage, it was basically the event my leader stood in front of the world and wouldn't make a comment about Mr. Orange Toupee. And it's interesting how the pendulum has swung violently back towards sort of Klaus, the 1%, the technocrats, and all of that, to the point where my leader now all of a sudden fancies himself some sort of dictator. And I guess he figures that he defeated the enemy in the form of orange toupees, and so as a result he's bulletproof, which I don't think is the case. But the problem is Canadian politics. Canadians are so polite. The worst sort of protest that we can do is drive a semi-truck up to our capital and honk our horns. Whereas, of course, in other parts of the world, we see how violent things can get when people are pressed. So anyway, that's a bunch of rhetoric, I suppose. Point here is I do actually like the idea of the corn trying to lift its way back into sort of respectability. It's interesting how far away Mr. Joey Diamond's 38,000 now on Bitcoin is. That almost seems like forever. But believe it or not, actually, I wouldn't be overly surprised if this actually turns into some sort of like inverted head and shoulders, something like that. Yeah, we'll see. Only time will tell. I don't know whether this is the start of a new bull. We've done a lot of technical damage here, and I just don't see the buying interest that sort of, that is the hallmark, number one, of bottoms. Huge, massive volume shifts. Don't really see that in the price charts here yet. And then if we, kind of like what I was showing you earlier, if we actually zoom out to the higher time frame charts, they're still pretty darn sanguine. On the weekly basis, it's good to see Willie is stupidly oversold. So I think, if anything, the fluff has come out of the market. We have a very interesting momentum coil here. I wouldn't necessarily consider this a breakout one way or the other. Unfortunately, usually this just spells intense volatility. So this coil is still trying to play itself out. And probably when this eventually plays itself out and we get beyond this, like you can see in the last cycle, for instance, actually maybe over here you can see it a little better. Yeah, so in this one, a little harder to see, but hopefully you see the same thing. The momentum coil is there to there, and then there to, oops. There to there. So what happens, whether you use that peak or whether you just go off of that peak, you get the breakout, but we really want to see some structure over here to actually tell us that, okay, we're ready to move forward. Quite often what I see ends up happening is we break out and then there's a violent slam down the other direction. So it'd be interesting. There is the coil resolution, but what did this do to price? That move down into there, and was it on a divergence? So there's that move down to there, which actually broke that little W right down into that low there. And that was on a divergence. And of course, that's what we ideally want to see. To sort of mark that, hey, price actually isn't nearly as weak as you think it is. And that is usually the signs of a bottom. Kind of like how we had momentum indicators go into bear divergence on the push up top recently. And yet, unfortunately, price didn't go to new. Okay, so the divergence was there to there. So let's get rid of this. So, just for illustration purposes. And let's just get rid of this stuff. I'll put it back in a second. Fudge. There. Alright. So this is the kind of stuff you want to see, and this is a weekly price chart to tell you that, alright, the bottom is in. And then it just kept doing it, right? Well, actually, I guess it didn't really do it there. But lower lows in price, higher lows in MACD histogram, breakout, bottoms in. Next cycle, actually, I think it was pretty similar. That's all this stuff. Right here. And this one, actually, I remember Jonathan, a longtime student forever ago. He pointed this out on social media, and almost nobody really paid attention. I thought it was so compelling. So, lower lows in price, higher lows in MACD, breakout, bottoms in. Away you go. Then it actually did it again. This was Kevin's famous trade, Kavarkinator. Lower lows, higher lows, bottoms in, away you go. So, do we have that situation? I don't think so. I think we're still in this coil phase. This could take a long time to play out, folks. So, we don't have that big sort of internal signal that, all right, let's rock and roll, we're ready. Then the next thing that kind of jumps out at me is, if we look at this monthly chart, I thought this actually, let's put all the indicators back on here though. Is that it? Yeah, there we go. There we go. I was showing you this to begin with. I didn't even realize how bad this was. This is going to take a while to clean up. So you can see how this last cycle, you see how Willie went stupid. Didn't quite have an RSI div. Volume sort of broke in here. And nowhere near the size of volume there. So you can say there's a huge div there. But look how long this took to play out before it actually started Wing out again, right? And that was the sign of our next big bull. So what do we see here in the short term? And this is a bit concerning considering this is a monthly price chart, people. You can see higher highs in price, lower highs in MACD histogram. Lower highs in RSI and even lower highs in Williams percentage R. Very, very bad sign momentum wise. And no buyers. Bitcoin's so wonderful. Other than the people that I guess listen to Dog Money and then Germans, got to buy another gold watch. People are saying, technical analysis doesn't matter, just buy. This time it's different. Oh my goodness, if you ever hear that expression, run for the bloody hills. So this is going to take a long time to clean up, folks. Kind of sucks. I mean, I'm in the business of grandstanding and hyping and shilling. And I'm saying, this isn't a good business to be in, folks. I'm going to take it slow. If anything, you know what? This is a great business. And ironically, I started this. And it's weird how when we go into recessions, this is what I get drawn towards. The last time we were in a recession, I was a professional prop trader. And gee whiz, that's all that I'm doing lately. I'm back to trading E-mini futures and trading crude oil. So it's so funny. The more things change, the more they stay exactly the same. But anyway. So anyway, longer term charts. It just looks horrible. The good part about it, of course, is, that's a pretty damn precipitous drop. And maybe if we're lucky, Tom DeMark's, an 8 on a monthly chart, that's got to say there's got to be some sort of pivot around here somewhere. So, also, too, we might be carving out a nice little inside bar. Now, obviously, this is the start of this July. So, it's going to be a long time until we actually see the resolution of this. But I could very easily see that Bitcoin just bumps along here through the month of July. I know somebody was saying last July was when Bitcoin price turned up in earnest. So that's April, June. There's July right in there. So could we get... I don't think we're going to get this kind of scenario, folks. I'm sorry. But you can see there's July of last year. We should get some sort of seasonal rally here. But I could easily see, July's an inside bar. Then August, we paint a nice up. September, we paint an up. And then October, November, we roll back over and come back in and test the lows. And then actually hit this A, B, C, D objective. That's sort of my prognostication, future crystal ball reading. Who knows? We'll see what happens. So there's sort of your higher time frame perspective. As I said, it's in RLZ, not really much momentum-wise, not much structure-wise. What I did hear a lot of people talking about was actually they really like the relative performance of ETH through here. I think even Sjord was saying he's running an algo on the site now based on his trade criteria. He's a big fan of the Bollinger Band squeeze on RSI, and then having MACD positive and, of course, price structure. And he really likes that. So it's interesting how he's actually tilting more towards ETH. So interestingly enough, if we probably do, this is ETH's number 2 on here. If we do this, probably ETH looks probably a heck of a lot better. All right, so here we are, middle of February again. Our prognostication was a bit of a sideways, then down into May. Interesting. There's June. Was looking for a big snapback rally through sort of June period. I don't think we ever got that. And then looking for a dump. I might even just push this out 3 or 4 months. And that would probably be what I would expect to happen. But let's go see what it looks like. ETHUSD douche. I'll go off a daily. All right, so yeah, I mean, it's an interesting looking chart. If we go off of that March, shouldn't we debate mortgaging our future? Those lows, then that's the fib that we get. In fact, actually, was that a lower low? It sure looks like it, eh? That was pretty darn close. Why don't we just use the original low? That's so close. All right, so we'll just put that right on there and then go boosh. All right, so 78.6 with tagged. It's interesting. I had a bunch of money sitting on Trex. By the way, Trex is killing all sort of international clients, well, Canadian clients. So better make sure you have your money off of there by mid-month here. I had a bunch of money on there, and I was kind of like, well, what's the best way to get it off here? I could send it back to the bank, or actually I went and just bought a bunch of Ethereum. All right, see you in a minute, Paul. And I bought the 78.6 fib just because I like 78.6s. It's a nice simple number, and I've often found in hindsight this thing can mess around. You can see that there's a big hole on the profile down here at about, looks like about 850 down to, even really you can see 750 kind of area. Probably could bang around in there. Maybe that's what happens next fall when Bitcoin does its thing down into its ultimate objective. I'd probably also go AB, CD, and it's interesting how that was. I don't know whether that was it or not. Let's actually zoom in and make sure that's pretty crisp here. That's awfully close, eh? Wow. What do we got here? We got 48, 67, 81. 48, 67.81. Did I do that right? 48, 67, 8. Yeah, looks like that's the highest high. Alright. Minus, hey Ben, if you could fire these numbers into a calculator, I'd appreciate it. 2159 even. 21. Oh, what is that number? 2159. Yeah, 2159 minus 2159. Interesting how it's a round number. So that equals
2708.81.
0.81. All right. And then we want to subtract 3581.60. 3581.6. What does that come up to? 3581.60, yeah. Survey says, looks like about, Jesus, that's pretty low, eh? $800 or something? Did we lose you, Paul? Or Paul's gone. Did we lose you, Ben?
872.79.
Sorry?
872.79.
872.79. Don't you hate these stupid ABCDs like this? They drive you crazy. Because my hunch is that that's a foregone conclusion. There's no way it cannot hit that. So, what was our low here? Our low was 879.80. So, no, we haven't hit it yet. Sons of bitches. So, that tells me there's probably one more FU against these lows here. That's interesting. Jerks. Put me 872.79. All right. Well, there we go. So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's splitting hairs. Has that level been hit? I don't know. Maybe we could probably go off of like stamp or something like that and you'll find that it is hit. Could we have a little bit of effery around this area and just, let's screw around with the kids and mess with their brains? Absolutely. Absolutely. So don't be shocked. Having said that, Brian, he loves his 78.6. And if you watch this over time, you know that what I often say is that I look back over time and it drives me crazy that the damn market will end up eventually Wing right off that 78.6. So I believe in Mr. Vitalik. I think it's not like he's going out of business. So I'm more than happy to sit on Ethereum at $1,000. That's actually not a bad level in my opinion. The issue, I suppose, is what does his supercomputer actually get used for? So if it's all about these kids and their very small monetary transactions, then I don't think that the Ethereum network makes sense. If, however, Mr. Vitalik has sold this idea to sort of the millionaire, billionaire, trillionaires of the world, then the fees, the gas associated with doing transactions, it makes perfect sense. It's perfectly fine. I get the impression, just the simple fact that he doesn't interact with us plebes. Of course, he has no interest whatsoever in the shitcoin industry by evidence of the way that he kind of played around with the Shiba people last year. I get the impression that he's probably sold the story very comfortably to the higher ups of our society, and he doesn't really have to worry too much about that. Also, too, you notice that I often tell people on this site, like, look left. Through this whole bull market, I think the base of the bull actually is right there. And gee whiz, look how we stopped right on that exact same level. So to me, this looks like some sort of important inflection point right in there. Now, do we have to swim down here, sub $900 just to flush out any of the remaining weak hands? Sure, we could do that. It wouldn't be shocking. Anyway, interesting level to keep an eye on. So, this is the same sort of thing as Bitcoin. Probably a little bit better, to be honest with you. But what I see here is we can definitely say trade location. I think we're going to say it's in the reload zone. It's basically, little old ladies. I would have no problem whatsoever. Little old ladies saying, Brian, should I go and pick up a little bit of Ethereum here going forward for my grandkids? Yeah, there you go. So the cell phone agrees. Indicator confirmation. I don't know. Let's see what the indicators think here. Boom. A lot better looking than the Bitcoin indicators, to be honest with you. Did we get some capitulation selling here? Maybe. We kind of broke the peaks of that selling pattern, that one there just recently with that spike. So that's not so bad. You had a bit of buying interest actually come in off of that, what is that, 1,000 up to 1,200 area. Not enough to actually turn OBV back up, though. So I think the war is still on. Price momentum wise, though, at least here, MACD's got a W working. Well, that's encouraging. So it's not the best looking pattern, but it is there. If anything, kind of what I was warning you about Bitcoin earlier, off the higher time frames, here's the momentum coil that I'm worried about, right? And quite often what ends up happening is it'll go that way and then that way, and then look at this one. Wow, way down here. So yeah, the momentum coil did play itself out, but this is the insane volatility you have to be worried about. And what did that translate to? That was so we dumped initially, broke that momentum. In fact, actually, that's a bearish divergence too, isn't it? Oh boy, that's a really nasty signal there. So that came in on a bear div, so any kind of M in price here, you got to go short. And of course, as soon as that as soon as this rollover happened here, that's where all the carnage really started to fall apart. But for the bulls, this is a good sign, right? Because you can see how deep the bearish momentum was here. And really, this is what I want you guys sort of learning from this. Markets melting down. ABCDs, are we at that target? Yeah, that's debatable. We might just be. But, this is really, this is a cool way to be able to just look at price, and you're not really, what am I looking for here? What am I reaching for? You're not really setting up a trade. You're just listening to the market's message. What's the market trying to tell me? Is the market happy? Is the market unhappy? Are we getting close to the bottom? So you're watching price melting down here, but you look down at your momentum indicators and you go, wow, that's kind of weird. Momentum's not making new lows here. Even though if I opened up any newspaper or I turned on any kind of business channel or anything, you'd swear that the sky was falling. You'd swear that these things were like, not only sell it, but actually open up new shorts now. And of course, I mean, that's half the reason why I built this indicator, Willie. If Willie's sitting down here stupidly oversold, going and shorting is not a good idea at all. But anyway, you might have to learn that lesson the hard way, just taking a short with Willie stupid and you see what happens. Anyway, point of the matter here is price went to new lows. Then this little rally here actually confirmed that bullish divergence. Is this little rally here that actually is the tell that, hey, this market probably isn't nearly as weak as you think it is. I'm a little concerned with the profile, though, with our little ABCD objective not hit and this hole in the profile down here. That's a little concerning. So, as I said before, I wouldn't be surprised if there's some effery down around these lows. But this is encouraging. If anything, you kind of wanted to see the pop as we're coming out here. You don't want this to go and get overbought again. And then, whatever rally potential sort of fizzles out. RSI, it's okay. I mean, if anything, this is a good analogy. Sjord likes to see these RSI bands contract. And actually, we had Bitcoin do this, and I even put a tweet out. Of course, he didn't reply. I guess he wasn't overly impressed. But, there was this one. Anyway, I put out a tweet about Bitcoin and a Bollinger Band. So it looked like there was a bullish Bollinger Band breakout on Bitcoin itself. So anyway, this is on RSI, slightly different application, but nonetheless, I think this almost looks like kind of like a shoulder, neckline, head, shoulder, neckline, breakout, maybe. How I usually teach people to interpret RSI is count the number of W's and where do the W's come in. So I think we could probably, say our first W comes in here, and usually I color that teal. The second W comes in here, and I usually color that yellow. And if this is through the 50 line, that's actually a pretty good trade signal. So that was the high there, 39.83. So not quite through the 50 line. 50 line is still up in this area up here, right? So, meh signal. And really, I think the trade has been meh. And interesting how we're working our way up into that 50 line. Kind of like that comment that I had about Williams percentage R there a moment ago. You don't want this thing to get exhausted, right? Because now what I see is another W coming in here. And usually this final W is sort of like the noobs. If we were going to do a count, I would count this one as the third one. And this is purple. And that's coming in through there. And unfortunately, this is usually when the public comes in and buys. So I'm not overly impressed. If anything, we're kind of running out of steam at the 50 line. So maybe that means we need to roll over here a little bit. So, put it all together. I mean, I'm not really getting a ton of really, hey, this looks like an awesome indicator setup here. I mean, it looks okay. I'd give it a passing grade. So, I'll say passing grade. I'm not quite sure how else to really say it. And no, we don't have price structure yet. But we're close. I mean, you can see the big honking W that's trying to come in. If that W fires, we could be off to the races here. It's interesting on the dailies. There's that RSI Bollinger Band sort of tightening up here. I think Sjord really likes that. So, close. I would say this looks better than Bitcoin. That was the old February one. It's interesting how in February, we're looking for a bit of a counter trend rally. So there was February. We actually did try to rally there, right? That's kind of interesting. So it did try to rally, but then it just petered out. We never did get this big spike, which we were expecting from that. So, yeah. I mean, like I said, I did go and buy some because of the 78.6. So, I would say location is okay. Indicator confirmation, pretty close. It's not bad. Price structure, not quite there, but darn close. I don't want to put too much of a positive spin on these things because sometimes it seems like I'm a bit biased. We'll say darn close. No W yet, but close. All right. Actually, this is probably a good opportunity. Paul, are you here?
Yep.
You want to maybe do a 5-minute sort of summary, what you're seeing out of Bitcoin here, or maybe even review your free newsletter if you want, or anything along those lines?
Yeah, I could share my screen if you want.
Okay, cool. Why don't we do that? I just talked Bitcoin and Ethereum, so I think Paul would probably do that, and he might even have an altcoin or two that might be interesting. So I'll stop presenting now, and I will minimize this screen, and then we will put the hangout over here. There is Paul and his awesome screen. Whoops, of course I picked the wrong one. How do we do that? There we go. Then we will go full screen, and let's get rid of this side bubbles. We don't need that. I'm actually getting pretty good at these hangouts.
Yep.
Okay, hit F11 now to give you a nice full. Oh yeah, that's what it was. Okay, you got the floor. Tell us what you're seeing in the Bitcoin and etc.
This is just a scalp with my indicator. I took it last in the evening, and I took 50% off. I'm just trailing the rest.
Cool.
But I'll go on this newsletter. So my view is similar to what you just said earlier. We are at the reload zone at 78.6. We just bounced from all-time highs from 2017. We have on weekly chart, we have location. ABCD is not complete yet. So the trend is still down, in my opinion, on bigger time frame. This P cycle bottom didn't fire a signal yet, but it's damn close. So if the price will go down to 50K, will give us a signal to like a bottom or something like that. Daily chart looks similar with the weekly. It just bounced exactly from 78.6, just a small bounce and back down. In the daily chart, when I made this newsletter, we made a bounce, and then we are at the reload zone. That was on Sunday. We are just back in the reload zone. Last week, I said in the newsletter, we are in this range. We are at the top of the range, and I expecting a retracement to the lower side of the range, because we had bearish divergence on 4-hour chart and all indicator. We had divergence in MACD and OBV. Really was almost stupid. And beginning of this week, we are back down in the reload zone. Here I made the mistake. I had one chance to hit my setup, my mountain man setup at 61.8. I didn't do it. I had all the reasons. And then right here, I did it again. I didn't took my setup. So the same mistake made twice. I don't like to do mistake like that. Once my setup, I just have to hit my damn level. But I make mistake too. So yeah, I just journalized my mistake, and maybe next time I'll just hit my level.
It's tough to
Bitcoin
put the
dominance.
opinions away, eh? I bet your
Yeah.
opinion right there was you were really worried price was about to collapse.
Yep. Yeah.
And what
When you
was the
have a
public? What was the public talk? Was the public talk pretty bearish?
yeah, I was bearish, but I had in the group all the people they are bearish, and I just hesitated
Ah.
to take my setup. I saw it. Look at the indicators. I have to take this. No, maybe I'll take a 78.6, and price never get to the 78.6. Yeah, it
And
happens.
you know, if anything, that's beautiful. That you know what Paul just told you there. Everybody watching this and anybody who watches it through the week, that's the truth of a life of a professional trader. Is
Yeah,
it's just we live a, you know, an old boss of mine used to always say, "This is a life where you have to be comfortable being uncomfortable." It
yeah,
sucks. This is the profession that we choose. I don't know why we choose this, but it is the life of basically accepting that the right trade is usually the trade that everybody else says is the wrong trade.
yeah. I catch this down move, this short, with
Good.
this head and shoulders.
Yeah,
I put
you're
it.
spot on there. And what's interesting is you didn't even follow your prediction for our show.
No, I
You
put a
had no
short
confidence
immediately
in your
after I closed
prediction.
the. I put a short immediately after I closed the. You closed the meet.
You shorted right after the show.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man. Oh well. Anyway, like I said, this is it's really it's refreshing to be able to have somebody on here who actually is a professional trader, who's actually showing you what real life as a professional trader is really like. Not all this fucking grandstanding bullshit
No.
that you hear on social media and stuff like that. Usually that's all wrong. But actually just listening to good quality here, Paul. So don't feel upset about what you're saying. What you're saying here is
No, I'm not
gold.
upset. Next bus in 10 minutes, but was
Exactly.
I made two mistakes, so I have to acknowledge that and
All
try
right.
to do
So
better
now,
next
two
time.
mistakes in a row. Is there something that I would recommend that maybe you should grab and start tracking?
Yeah, I did that.
Yeah.
I do. I journalize all my mistakes.
Well, not only journaling, but if you happen to make the same mistake repeatedly, maybe there's some sort of behavioral pattern there, and this is where the demon finder really comes in handy because quite often
Yeah, I
with
have. I do that. I have in my spreadsheet when I put my trades. I have the demon finder also.
good, yeah, because you
Yeah,
might just find that actually it's the same mistake you're making over and over and over. You just don't even
yeah.
realize it. So anyway, refreshing to hear, sir. Please continue.
The one second. The Bitcoin dominance just straight down. I don't like that. I expect a retest, maybe a short reload zone in time, but it's on a 4-day chart, so it will take some time. Ethereum, Bitcoin on weekly chart, bottom of the range, probably will do a bounce, but if we don't have the power to take a bounce from this area, we'll go to next level down.
This is the if this is going up, it means Bitcoin's getting stronger relative to Ethereum,
Yeah.
and if it's going down, it means Ethereum is getting
Yeah,
stronger
but
relative
that
to
that was
Bitcoin.
in the beginning of the week. Now the situation is a bit better.
Yeah, well, I'd be
The
curious what does this chart look like now in real time? I wonder.
yeah, I'll just take a look. 1 second.
Thank you, sir.
It's a bit better.
Huh.
We
Well,
have
but
a
that
W. Yeah,
see, I just made the thesis that I think that Ethereum looks more attractive than
yeah. We
Bitcoin.
have a W at the bottom of the range, so it's not complete yet because the week is not over, but looks nice.
Yeah, but so what does this imply? This implies that Bitcoin's getting stronger relative to Ethereum?
No, Ethereum is getting stronger versus
Oh,
Bitcoin.
okay. Oh, okay. Interesting. All right. Okay, that might
But
make sense.
we don't have any divergence on weekly chart. Maybe on daily. If we go on daily, maybe we see something different. Yeah, we had some divergence, exactly like the Ethereum chart. We had
Yeah.
some divergence.
That's a pretty
There
looking
was,
W down there. That's
yeah,
two W. That's like three W's in a row, eh? Wow.
yeah, looking nice on daily, yeah.
Yeah. Like, sir, somebody said over there on YouTube, this is the best free content available. Damn straight, hen. Yeah. I mean, if you can learn about these W's and understand about divergence and trade location, this is the shit. And again, nobody teaches this stuff on YouTube. Nobody. Not in the way that
Even,
we do it. Nobody.
even this one is a nice LJ.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah, nice LJ.
Yeah, I wonder how Leanne's doing. Leanne, if you are watching, reach out and say hi. Anyway. Okay, that's kind of cool. Okay, moving on. Your next slide for us to ponder is?
Yeah, it's total to altcoin market cap without Bitcoin.
Hmm.
We are at the moment when I made this newsletter, we are at 50 billion market cap. Now, probably a bit better. I'll just take a look. Exactly. I expect a bounce from this area,
Uh-huh.
but let's just take a look.
What is and I always like to ask this question. Ben, feel free to chime in if you want. Is Danny out of the penalty box yet?
Not yet.
Sorry.
So yeah, we have a bounce on this area.
Yeah, that
Maybe
looks
we'll make a
interesting. Yeah.
well, maybe we'll make a W. We have divergence on daily chart.
Oh, it's
On
trying
weekly it
to
looks
come in, eh?
bad. On weekly it looks bad, but on daily we have some potential divergence in this area on weekly chart. So
It's
would be
trying.
something, but takes time. Yeah. On daily chart, yeah, looks nice. On
Yeah.
daily chart, we have had really stupid. We have some
And,
W's in RSI. Even OBV has
but
divergence on a
so
nice
speaking
W.
of altcoins, are there any names in particular that have grabbed your attention?
Yeah, just take a look. Yeah, this is the yeah on altcoin. Yeah, we have something. This one we talked about 2 weeks ago, if you
Ooh.
remember. Yeah,
Ben, you know anything about this name? Woo?
yeah, on
No,
4 hour chart.
no. I wonder if it's
Oh, look at that. It's moving up nicely
Yeah,
on the 4 hour. Beautiful div. Look at that. That's so
yeah.
textbook.
Now we
Wow.
have a bearish div, but really stupid, so it's too late now. Maybe draw a reload zone and try to pick it
Totally.
up at
Like
the
do a 50% level of that range. I got a funny feeling it's hit its price objective.
this one, maybe
Yeah.
30.2. I don't think the 50% level was hit, but let's just see. Yeah, it's close.
Not yet, eh?
Yeah, it's in dumb chaser zone now.
Yeah, so like if you did like your little trade metric off of the W there, which is I think a very good looking little trade, that we're easily at 2-1 now.
Yeah, now we have 3-1, I guess.
Yeah, so this trade's actually getting a little bit old. Don't chase this, people. But you could
Yeah,
do
I
like
guess it's already played out because if you see, in my opinion, it's played out. But why? Yeah, 2.5,
yeah,
something
it's
like
not
that.
bad. Not bad.
Yeah, but it's a whole trade. Why? We had a W, another W. We had the YCAF check. We check this level, the retest of the W, and then price
Yeah.
goes up. So I don't think. Yeah, you could draw a reload zone and try to pick it up at this level, but
So what's the story here? Is it a really hot product that they have or something?
yeah, something new with, I don't know, some platform or something like that. I usually don't follow fundamentals. I just look at the charts.
Okay.
Yeah, so what is Eagle looking nice? We can pick up some Eagle on even on daily chart look nice for no,
Uh-huh. Yeah, I've heard a lot of people
one day.
talk about this EGLD.
Yeah, we have a W. It's
Mm.
not the other side of the train line, but it's a W, and the house level look at some nice price or objective. We can go up, and we have a lot of room to go up. If we draw a 38.2 retracement, the price will be exactly in this area probably.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
So
50, into Collins dump chaser zone. You like that,
yeah, yeah,
eh?
and look at that. We have bullish divergence all the way down from this area. You see one, second one, all confirmed.
Whoa, triple
Yeah,
D's. Brian
yeah,
and his triple D's.
yeah, it's looking nice. So yeah, I had some.
Paul Paris over there on YouTube asked, Paul, is your indicator something you're willing to share? Paul has his own Discord channel, so by all means, maybe pop on over there if you want to do a shill for your Discord channel. That
Yeah, I don't
newsletter, I
usually
think.
share my Discord channel because no, I just don't. But who wants, you can go on my Twitter page and they'll find the link to
Okay,
the
so his
Discord.
Twitter handle. There you go, Paul. But he's got his newsletter there up top. I think you give that away for free, don't you?
Yeah, yeah.
So by all means, maybe grab a copy of his newsletter and familiarize yourself with Paul and his trading community.
Yeah, you'll find it on my Twitter page. I have half of the channels there for free.
There you go.
Tools, general chat, a lot of channels are for free. I post trades on there, but I don't post scalps on small time frames. I prefer to control who take that small time frame trade
Yep.
because there are some beginners and I don't want to blow off their accounts.
That's always a good idea. And frankly speaking, if you're going to learn to run and build a small business of trading, I don't think anybody has a better trading school than TRI.
Yeah.
So I think it's an excellent sort of framework.
Yeah, I have a separate channel exactly for that. Who wants to learn to trade, not only crypto, just to learn really to trade, go to TRI and make at least level one, level two, or all three levels.
There you
Because
go.
I could teach you some setups, I could teach you some things about the process, but not I cannot teach you to trade from scratch.
Cool.
So
Thank you.
TRI is the best place to go and to learn to trade. So
I think we'll just end the show there, folks.
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
think
This
there's
one
anything
inch,
else to say.
yeah.
Just kidding. So somebody
This one
wants you
inch
to look
is
at
not really.
CEL. Any thoughts on CEL token? There's a short squeeze going on. I don't know. You guys know
I will
anything
look
about
at
that?
in a moment. In a moment, just to finish it. I have two
Oh, you
or
got a
three
few more
altcoins.
for us. Okay, sorry, I
Yeah,
apologize. All right.
this 1 inch is just straight down, but now take a look at this MACD divergence.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, even the OBV has a W.
That's good.
Looking
Oh, looks
nice.
like
Yeah,
that.
it's for me. It's a nice trade. Why? Because I have a small window of risk right here. I could risk pick up right here the price and just risk to this tail. So if
Cool.
this goes up, I have a nice risk to reward ratio. So I just need a W on the smaller time frame.
Nice.
When I'll have an LJ. Yeah, it's not pumping yet, but I know in the past usually pumps are really nice. After the Ethereum, after the big boys, this one will pump nicely because
Cool.
I have all the reasons to. I have a small divergence in RSI. I have a small divergence in the OBV. I have really stupid already. Was stupid. Nice, nice MACD. So for me, but I like to take price is not information.
Cool.
So it's for me it's looking nice.
Mm-hmm.
GMT is the same thing. This one has the W. Had a nice W right here, a retest now, another W. Yeah, you can take this W, this bigger W, or just draw a reload zone and try to pick it on the bottom. This
Still in
W was
pretty
below
cheap
the
prices.
88.6. So, but I don't have a lot of history, so I don't know about indicator. I know this one is still in the minds of the many people because they have an application of step on or something like move and earn or something like that. You just walk with your phone beside you and you'll make some money.
Okay.
And the last one is the same thing. The dot. I like this one because I have a damn small window of risk.
Uh-huh.
I'll be proven wrong immediately if or maybe just wait to make this W and try to pick some up. It's on daily chart. I like that. I see a big divergence on the MACD. I have some some W's in OBV. Maybe just wait. Who wants just wait for this W to be confirmed and then try to pick to buy some on swing trade. Maybe I already took that trade because I have this small window of risk, so I like that. I like to take prices, a small one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sand is already gone from my perspective because this was a reload zone. Who wants to take a swing trade, even a position trade? You can take this W, and this is the sell half on a double level. You can go even on 30.2 for a take profit area. Looking nice, a nice W is forming now. We had divergence even on the RSI. No OBV divergence, but a nice looking OBV with a lot of W. This one is looking nice also. So there are a couple of BNB, the same thing. EFTM, I guess, is the same, but this one is behind because they had some bad news, so it's not looking so hard. But this is a nice W. It's not too nice because if you go on line chart, this will be lower than this one. But reload zone, you can pick some up, but you have to risk down here to this area. I don't know. I had some alpha. I'm still in the trade. I pick it up right here, and I'm just waiting. I'm in the trade from I don't know from 25 June. Yeah, just
Cool.
that.
Wow, lots of stuff
Yeah.
you're chewing on. That's awesome.
A lot of altcoin looking nice, but you have to pick your pick your altcoin if you want to. You
Hey,
cannot take all the
what's
altcoins.
that Doge look like? Is Doge actually put in a
Yeah,
bottom
let's
yet?
see. Dodge is looking
Mm.
similar with all the. It's not a clear. This one is not. I don't like this leg of
Yeah.
the W,
Yeah.
but it's looking similar to the other altcoin. Yeah, it could be an LJ if you make a W in this area.
Yeah.
The same thing, this divergence on MACD. But
what's I mean, a lot of them look very
yeah,
similar down here, right?
yep.
So, all right, well that's kind of cool. I suppose since you're doing charts, we could probably just continue on with you. Somebody over
Yep.
there on YouTube is asking for us to look at CEL token. CEL.
1 second.
Where do you want to look at something like this?
I don't know, FTX?
I
Celsius.
guess.
Yeah, probably.
A bit spiky there.
Yeah, he did a pump and dump.
Well, looks pretty one-directional.
Yeah. Now we'll just have to wait to consolidate more because.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that huge candle there with that huge wick, unfortunately, that looks to me like whatever kind of bottom play out that it sort of, it shot its wad in that.
Yeah, some people get out profit. They.
A lot of people are probably trapped long buying the top of that wick up there. So.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think you got better fish to fry out there, Hanya.
Yeah, I don't like this one.
Somebody says there's a massive W on CRV.
Yeah. Yeah. I noticed that. CRV is VP on Binance.
Oh,
yeah, it's a nice looking chart.
Hello.
It's a damn nice looking chart.
Oh,
yeah.
Look at that MACD. Now that's pretty.
I already have the on alarm on this one. I forget about it. I want to pick up some up on 61.8 if I get the chance.
There you go. Oh,
My alarm is active.
You're thinking in the right direction, Shamu.
Yeah. But it's too late for me to buy it now. I'll have to wait for a retracement. I will not buy it.
Somebody wants you to take a good look at Joe USDT.
No, I don't think it's on Binance. I don't know.
Joe JOE
yeah.
USDT.
Yeah, he's on Binance now.
Oh, look at that cute little W. Damn. If you're a sharpshooter, man, I don't know whether you saw that when Paul was zoomed in there. There was a killer little trade down there. Actually, this used to be Da Vinci when he was on the site, and I was working with him. We actually built a setup for him, and this was one of his setups where you see a W come in on the RSI, W in OBV, and of course W in price down there. I suppose you could even argue there's a little W in MACD.
This is a Colin favorite coin.
This is what?
Hydro Labs. Colin for Hydro Labs.
Oh, Colin? Colin likes this?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
In
he
the
also
past,
liked
I
that
know
Vader, right? He's a big fan of that Vader, but I think that was just because May the 4th. Kind of nonsense.
Yeah.
But yeah, wow, that's a great looking little W.
I know he invested in this one, in this Joe.
And he also had a nice little Wyckoff check. You could probably like zoom right in on that price action down there. And that was probably a perfect reload zone.
This one, this one of 78.6, I guess.
Yeah.
Just take a look.
And that's absolutely textbook sharpshooter trading. It's tough to do, though. I'm not going to say it's easy. Very tough to do, but that looks to me like... We had a setup that we used to call a shark, and it would basically be a 78.6 tag.
I use it.
Off of an old market structure bottom. And yeah, look at that. That's
perfect. Exactly. 78.6.
Yeah. So, that's probably the chart of the night is that Joe. So, Sabic, it sounds to me like you've got a nose for this. That's the kind of thing you want to be hunting for. That's, you can't really see. Can you maybe change the 78.6 to like yellow or something so we can see it on your screen? But that's basically our shark setup that we have in our library.
Yeah, I use it.
Look at that. Absolutely perfect. So there, right at the end of June, beginning of July, you got a nice little gift of a trade there.
Yep.
That's kind of cool, actually. Now. That should probably be the theme of the night, Find charts that look like this.
Yeah, but now it's too late for me to pick some more.
Yeah, probably. You could. The funny thing is you could do a reload zone off of just this little range, and my hunch is the 78.6 is basically down in that same level. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you could always work a stink bid down against those lows there, and just try and sneak in off of that little inside bar reversal.
I even didn't know this was on Binance, but. If it's on Binance.
That's right in your wheelhouse, eh?
Yeah, so if it's...
All right, so you can see. Hey, whoever Subic, you just earned your keep. If anything, if you make money on this, remember Subic, you should get a free month on your service.
Yeah.
All right. So once you've done that, we got another name to throw at you.
Yeah, it's okay.
SOL. Actually, that was this.
Yeah,
is a big,
Solana.
this is one of these big network names, right?
Yeah, looking nice.
Oh, look at that! It did a nice check of its W.
Yeah. If you zoom in, yeah. 61.8, 70.2, something like that. I'll just put it on there.
Well, the fact that it's got the W working, that's encouraging.
Yeah. So, yeah, exactly 78.2. 70.2.
Yeah, right
The
in
sweet
the
spot,
midpoint.
yeah. Exactly on sweet spot and back up. And now makes another W. This could be a nice W. One bar, but it's a W.
I
Yeah.
see, but it's there.
Yeah.
And then really, like this is kind of what I wanted to do with all these, our list is just, like I would say, if we zoom out, this thing's probably got some half decent trade location.
Yeah. It has a damn good location. Take a look at that.
See, that's perfect. That's exactly what you want to look for when you're thinking about investing. Now, I would draw like a trend line off of those peaks, and that'll sort of tell you when the trend is actually turning back up. And I don't think that's now.
If
I think
do
this is like
that way,
yeah.
maybe next year if I do it on this level, yeah, it's close on this level.
Well, but I think probably if you did like a 50% rule of that high back down to
This is the
recent
50%.
low.
This is the 50%
No,
level.
but do a 50% level from that high back down to this recent low.
This one?
Yeah, and that'll be your technical target for this summer.
Yeah, I'll just lower this one.
Yeah. So there's your interesting.
Exactly at the sell half on a double level.
Yeah, look how your sell half on a double level is right at the 50% roll. Now, if you redraw that trend line from the top, my hunch is that probably is that sort of tag of the trend line is the rally up to kiss that 50% level. Yeah, somewhere. Well, probably even the original M. You could probably be generous here.
On this one?
Yeah. So there you go. So there's sort of your window. And also notice, too, you could probably do like a horizontal line off of that low from late February, I guess, or March. And
this one?
And this becomes a Wyckoff check from the other side. So like a bearish Wyckoff check.
A Bangkok check. A Bangkok check.
Are you okay with that, Ben?
Yeah, I mean that number actually works out to be 72.3589% of the range.
Sick. There you go.
A discount from that price, so
perfect. Perfect. Yeah, I still got to get used to using that 72 rule. But that would make sense. So, if you're thinking about upside objectives, a nice rally up into that $100 area sure would be nice. That would make sense.
Yeah, you can get some free coins this summer. So
yeah, probably. As a trader, I would want to draw a trend line off of the little May rally peak there.
Yeah, this one.
See the channel, it just bumped along that trend line.
This one?
No, May.
This is May.
Yeah, just the early, or I guess like mid-May peak. Looks like it's about $60 or something like that. So
that the line trade, from this area.
Yeah, $60 down lower.
No, I don't know.
Yeah, that peak, that's the first peak of the trend line. Not the second.
No, I understand now.
Yeah. All right, there we go. So this is what's at play now. So can the market put in market structure on the other side of this line? If it can't, you got to be careful. It might just walk its way back down along this trend line here. So just be careful here. It's got to really W on the other side of this trend line for it to be real.
Yeah, but this is what I was expecting from that. I just want this level to be hit. and then I'll hunt.
Yeah. So you're heading in the right direction, and if crypto does have a nice little seasonal rally here, probably this plays out. It wouldn't surprise me. Be interesting. I guess you don't follow volume bars themselves, but I think you really want to. What you want to see here is you want to see the buyer step up in earnest. Oh, that's a good image. You like that because in essence, you buying at this level.
Even if I put it on this range, yes, this is the box. So
that's a good sign. Because you know, just think about like institutional players. They're long in size. So you want to try and be long where they're long. So the fact that price is sitting right on this big ass POC here, you know, interesting too. Like the sell half on a double level. All that's going to be is just a test of value high here. It's not like you're going to even see a new bull market. This is just a trading range trade.
Yeah, just to get some free coins for this summer. This is my objective now.
Merry Christmas.
On position size, even position trading or swing trading.
Okay.
I'll take a position on spot on this one. I'll get some free coins if I can. Well, keep day trading the rest of the time.
I suppose there's harder ways to earn an income in this world.
Yep, definitely.
All right. Well, we've been going for about an hour and 40 minutes or so. Where should we take this train next? Should we wind up a bit early tonight? You know, we don't really have to do a marathon.
Oh, it's okay. Maybe people want to look at the other altcoins.
Why don't we'll give you, somebody says FTM is cooked. Andre killed it when he bailed. Not quite sure what that means. I don't take an account this kind of fun. Yeah, maybe yes, maybe not. But if I get my free coins, it's okay. FTM? I don't know what FTM is. Do you know what that is, guys?
Yeah, Phantom.
Oh, it's a coin. Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay.
So same thinking.
I like this one. Yeah, it's fascinating how they're just, you know, they basically completely hit the reset button on all of these names, eh?
Yeah. Maybe yes, maybe no, but I have a divergence on this MACD with this one. Really stupid. I have a small window of risk on this area. If I can get some free coins, not necessarily to get sell half on a double. If I get a nice pump from this level, I'll sell the difference for free coins.
What I would do is you could probably do a nice little. Do you do the Foggenbaum studies? You could probably do a nice little chaos theory off of that double bottom there, and it'd give you a nice
from this
upside.
one.
Yeah, probably give you a nice upside target there.
Just move the chart on
there. You go. So, and really, this is just a trader's life, you know.
This level is probably will be hit
37.
Yeah.
You want that 50, eh? That 50 would be a double.
Yeah. And this week will be a lot of people they want to get out, but.
Well, it'd be interesting. Now do a Foggenbaum off of this recent W that hasn't quite confirmed yet.
Yeah.
And if that 2.618 lines up with that 50 level, then maybe we're on to something. Interesting. So 45, 50 area, wicks and tails like to be eaten, candle body highs for trade location.
Yep.
I think you can make an argument a nice little rally up into that levels is doable.
Yeah, I know the founder is bail out and leave the crypto space, but I don't know. I just want to get my free coins. I don't know what will happen in the future. Okay. But free coins are free coins.
Somebody says Namil Nil. I have no idea what the hell that means. Michael. Namil Nil. Ni. Have you guys do either of you know what that means?
I don't have the YouTube page open.
I'm gonna have to Google that.
Pardon me?
I'm gonna have to Google that.
All right. Maybe Michael, you can help us a little bit. Is that a person's name? Maybe that's one of the developers. Actually, we had Sjord said that he was at a developer conference today, so maybe we'll start hearing some new projects and stuff to ponder. So, yeah, it'd be interesting to take a look at some of these DeFi previous darlings like Aave and stuff like that. I guess we haven't really seen a tune here yet.
Yeah, we have the divergence. The same thing like all the altcoins.
Have you guys heard any new development out of the Luna saga? Are they bringing it back yet or not?
I don't know. Just let's take a look at Luna.
Didn't it pump quite a bit recently?
Luna C.
Yeah, Luna C. Is that what it is now?
Yeah, it's an old Luna.
But yeah, look at that.
Yeah, we had a double from this level.
Yeah. Son of a gun, eh? 6,200, yeah, it did make it up to above 12.
Let's take a look at Luna USDT, yeah. The new Luna. Down.
No. Nothing.
No, this is the old Luna. Yeah.
All right. Well, that previous one, just as kind of a fun experiment. Oh, I see. So there's a little bit of a rally there.
Yeah.
What happens if you do a fog and bomb off of that bottom?
On what? On this one?
Yeah, from that low back up to the middle. Yeah, that low there to that high there, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, not that high. The next. Well, okay. I'd go off of the previous high.
Yeah.
That one there. So where's 2.618 on that?
2.618 is just...
It could still go a little bit further. You know, you might just see the names like this. There's a lot of these names that are looking like this. I think.
Yep.
Somebody over there on YouTube says Matic will be one to watch. So what does Matic look like?
Matic is an altcoin.
It's just yet another altcoin, eh?
Yep.
And I guess Binance is the place to trade this shit.
Yeah, the same thing like with the other.
I don't really see a bottom there. Sorry.
No.
Nice
we had some divergence. It's confirmed. Yeah. We have some divergence on the RSI. OBV looks ugly. I don't like it. New lows.
Yeah.
New lows on the higher move.
Looks like you're still a bit early here.
Yeah. Maybe it will be something, but I don't like it. If I draw a trend line from this high to this, just a big picture, no. Exactly. I don't. There are other altcoins. They look better than this one.
Right.
Even this one looks better.
All right. So speaking of which, CTK USDT. Somebody's asking you to pull that one up. CTK USDT. C is in Charlie.
CTK.
C Charlie Thomas Ken.
Charlie.
Woo, hello.
Yeah. Has a nice
Son
button.
of a bitch. Who's that guy?
Yeah.
Who's
Let's see that one.
Sub-Ick. There you go. You guys all just got a gift there. I'd suggest going and picking up some of this thing.
Yeah,
damn, that looks good. Because this is a narrow sideways channel. So
damn nice location.
Yeah, look at that, right at the bottom.
Nice
of the
pumping
range. Jesus.
All the way.
Can you take a screenshot of that if you could, please? Maybe put if you could take a screenshot of that. I think I want to go get Sjord to pick some of this up. That's a good looking chart, my friend. Nice picking.
Damn nice.
Yeah, that looks perfect.
Yeah, damn nice.
I'll do a little bit more due diligence, but maybe if we could throw that in the lounge.
Yeah, exactly.
So everybody on the site could take a look at this. So what do these guys do, I wonder?
I don't know.
Subic, any idea what these guys do? Oh, here comes a comment from Michael. NAML, NII brackets, is a layer 2 protocol ADA is building on it Nanny Nibble. Oh, okay. So it's a... so Do you want to look at this NII if you have a second?
I.
Yeah, get I. I as in indigo.
Something like that.
Yeah, there you go.
Versus.
So
I
this
think
looks
it
like
said
it's all DeFi.
Gate.io is where Michael said.
AIO.
No, this one I don't see anything. No.
There you go. Well, Sushi Swap. Yeah, it's cheap. One good thing I like, it says go to CoinGecko, so you can't even look at it on these kind of sites.
Yeah, versus Ethereum looks nice.
All right. Well, yeah, I mean, the
You
one
have
good
location,
thing is
but
you're not chasing the market here. So if
yeah,
anything, that's a good sign.
if you know it's a fundamentally good project, you can pick some up at this level.
To me, this looks like it just made another new low. So
Yeah.
why did that thing gap violently lower like that a few days ago? That's this is painting lower highs and lower lows. That generally is not a good sign. But
Yeah.
if this thing can go and W out, maybe it's worth taking a good look at.
Yeah, I will stick with my Binance coins.
All right. So I gotta tell you, man, that CTK, that's the one we were just looking at a moment ago. Hey, that looked fucking awesome.
Yeah.
So at least you've given me something to go look at and do some research. So thank you, Subik. I appreciate it.
Yeah, CTK, I have it on the futurist chart also. Yeah, looks nice.
CTK. Yeah, look at that. Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
That one looks cool.
Yeah, I like that.
Huh.
Nice. It's
So
a
there
small
you go.
window
If anything,
put
we've
my
had a
stop loss.
couple really good ideas here, guys. So yeah, it's a constructive meeting tonight.
Yeah, I guess I was stopped out on my small trade.
There you go. Well, live by the sword, die by the sword, my friend.
Yeah, but I took half on 2 to 1.
Mm-hmm.
Just trailed the rest. I was stopped out on the rest of the position right here. So, next boss.
All right, Ben. Any great words of wisdom out of you tonight? You're awfully quiet tonight.
I'm just enjoying the show. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Did you have any names that you're chewing on right now, or any fundamental stories you're looking into? Not to put you on the spot or anything.
Yeah. There was a guy on the site, Roland, who has given me a list to kind of chew on. So
Roland Garros?
Mm-hmm. Is he
Yeah.
level 1? Yeah.
He's a tennis player.
Well, oh no.
Do you get the joke?
Sorry.
Roland Garros. Where's the French Open played?
I mean, he's a tennis player, right? But the guy on the site isn't. Is he the? He's not the tennis player, is he?
I think so. Yeah. Anyway, that's. I think that was. It was a funny name. Anyway,
Okay.
maybe that's his real name. I don't know. Anyway.
Could be him.
All right. So he gave you a magic list to look at, and did anything really jump out at you that you liked?
Not off the top of my head. I was kind of just doing just some very light looking into it. I've got to dig a little deeper, but maybe that'll be my job for next week. I'll come back with something on that list.
Right on. Paul, did you finish your newsletter? I think we kind of cut you off a bit early, so my apologies there.
Oh, just the final words on my newsletter.
All right, so
trading like a business and market on Twitter like a king. Trading is still on hard mode, so small risk, and that's it for my newsletter.
Right. All right. Cool. Well, we're getting close to 8 o'clock, so if we want to wind it up here, I'm totally fine with calling it a night. This is a great broadcast. You've given me, myself, 2 or 3 names to go look into, and I might even get Sior to do some buying for us. So I think on balance is a pretty productive evening. Should we get into
Yep.
our big prognostications? What the hell is going to happen here going forward?
Let's just, yeah.
Where are we here? I'm going to hijack the presentation. And actually here, why don't we gotta go F11. And thank you very much for looking at charts. Gives me, whoops, no, that's not what I'm supposed to do. Good heavens, look at all that nonsense. How do I get rid of that? What have I done? Hey, there we go. Okay, let's hit this button, see what happens. Hey, there we go, awesome. Okay, so we will move the Hangout over here. And we will put the spreadsheet back up. Where's the spreadsheet? There's the spreadsheet. Brian did a couple names. Probably we should have probably even written down. I got one screenshot out of you. That's CTX. I think in future episodes, Paul, we're just gonna have to ask you to go a little bit slower if you're gonna look at charts, and we gotta plunk the charts into the spreadsheet. So
yeah, we can do that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll work on it going forward. Okay. So productive evening there. Hopefully you got Brian and Paul's outlook for the corn, and that helps you a little bit, as well as some great ideas from Paul tonight in various different altcoins. Paul was the big winner, a 2.5% move higher on the corn. Where are we now? We're now at 20,400, so we lost $100. Wonder if $100 lower would have brought that back down to gray. But we'll give Paul the win.
Yeah.
Now, what the hell's going to happen next week, Mr. Smarty Pants? You get the first chance to vote. What's the prediction? Let me guess.
Me?
It's a bull.
It's a bull, +2.
+2? Seriously?
Yep.
Oh, there you go.
It's
Strap
July.
on your fucking rally caps, you bastards. It's time to party.
And I'll close the meet and I'll go and short the market. Like last time.
Yeah, so you're setting us up. That's what you're doing, you bastard.
Yep.
All right, so Paul's made the big uber bullish vote. That's interesting. We'll see what happens. Ben, what do you think's going to happen here this week? Are we as bearish as we were before, or are we tilting away from that view?
Yeah, I'll go +1.
+1. All right. Yeah. All right, +1. Actually, I'm not screen sharing for you guys, am I?
Nope.
I don't know whether you guys can even see what. Anyway, I've just got the spreadsheet up here, and I'm just typing away. So, there you go. So now you can see at least what I'm doing. All right, so +1 from Ben. +1 gets a yellow. And the Beamish. Oh, God. Oh, goodness. I'm a little leery at how bullish you guys are.
Yeah.
The problem is I really don't mind the market moving higher. Question is, last year it took off like July 20th, eh? Remember that? So I just wonder whether we have to wait. So notice, look at that. Isn't that interesting how into the end of July, we were pretty weak. And then we just sprung out of there. So I don't know whether we have to do something like that again. That was sort of my prognostication for Ethereum, that we still needed to do a little bit more correcting. So, next Wednesday is 13th. So that's there. What do we think is going to happen by next week? 20,018. Yeah, I think I'll go with a. Yeah, I still think we're just floundering here, so I'm gonna go with a. I almost want to say -1, but I'll just go with a neutral reading. So let's be nice and simple. Good to see that we didn't melt down anymore. So that's encouraging. And Sharky, we need to. I guess that was Nick. I wonder. I see Nick over on that YouTube page. How's the move-in going, Nick? I thought it was interesting, just as a side closing comment. Nick, probably about 4 or 5 months ago, goes, "I think I'll come back when Bitcoin is back into easy mode and not hard mode." And that was such a really good comment. I'll tell you, Nick. That was very, very well said. It just it's hard to acknowledge, and especially old gnarly guy, because I'm here in the market every day, whether it's a bull or it's a bear or it's a porcupine. I'm gonna be here. So it's interesting that someone who could just step away, just say, this isn't an easy market. I think I'm just gonna step away for a bit. I think that was so smart. So I have to say that was pretty solid. All right, and then just FYI, for whatever it's worth, while we're waiting this out, we do lots of day trading on this site, other futures products and stuff like that. So it's not necessarily that I'm like long-term crypto bear. It's just I don't really want to be loading up if I think that we're still in a short-term bear. And unfortunately, maybe pop on the site and listen to some of our daily briefs and stuff. But, the long-term cyclical picture, I think, probably a good way for you to see this if you haven't seen this before, just to give you sort of a 64,000 foot view, is I'm a big fan of these 4-year cycles in Bitcoin. And actually, on this site recently, we've had a lot of fun with this, doing Fibonacci time studies based on halvenings. And some people on the site actually came up with a really cool way of using one halvening to the next halvening, and then looking for a very specific mathematical relationship. I won't go too much into the details about it, but just sort of illustrate it. There to there. Halvening to halvening. And it's fascinating how we have this sort of rally window. Actually, I don't think that halvening date's correct. Looks like I moved that. Anyway. And this halvening date window actually lined up really nicely with the top. But like I said, I think I screwed up these dates. Something doesn't look right about this. But anyway, if we have it correct, but like I said, what was the date? Wasn't this was May 11th, wasn't it? I seem to remember it was May 11th. Wasn't it my birthday? I seem to remember that. Was the last happening May 11th? I think that's when it was. So if we go boobity-boo, notice that sort of window, we have some funny little fibs numbers. Probably more importantly, if we look at the previous cycle, May 11th. Yeah. What was really interesting was to see this window, this 1.618 to 1.786, basically is that bottoming, troughing sort of period. So if we apply the same logic to this particular cycle, and then drawing that to this cycle, it paints a bottoming window here that sort of starts in mid-September and goes through till May of next year. And really, I don't see any reason why we don't trough through this. That's what I'm thinking. And the good part about it, with Bitcoin, of course, being so incredibly predictable, we can now start thinking, we have generally a rough idea of when the next halvening event is. But, obviously nothing's set in stone. But if we follow along the general path, I tell you, this makes this job really easy. So halvening event to halvening event, we know that there's going to be a trough in here, and that's your accumulation zone. And you can see we've already come up with prognostications of when the next cycle peak should happen. So really just set your clocks, right? Accumulate Bitcoins at or below reload zones over the next 6-8 months and get ready for the next cycle. And, it's interesting. I'm a bit skeptical of whether crypto was a perfect fear cycle asset. I wouldn't be surprised if, we do have nice rallies, and keep in mind this is going to be substantially higher than the cost of production. I don't know whether we go parabolic like but I did have somebody on the site recently say they've come up with an upside target of about 150 for the next cycle. We'll see how it goes. It's tough to say. But the point here is, if you want to make some serious money, whether it be in stocks or whether it be in crypto stocks or crypto, venture cap, there is your window. So get ready. We're still right here. We're about 4 or 5 months ahead of this window starting. Once we get into the window, you got to start accumulating, especially, if you get W's, you got to start buying in earnest, looking for that big rally this next cycle. And, I want you guys to get rich. So learn from this. I mean, it's remarkable how consistent this thing is. So, anyway, food for thought. I guess the only other thing I'll say is the site itself. If we're going to take a look at crypto and sort of how it's feeling, we have great algorithms that we've built now to give us a lot of edge in the marketplace. Reload it. We have this breadth indicator that I think actually is very accurate at giving you sort of a broader market measure of the health of the market, whether it's maybe a little bit dangerous, overbought, whether it's turning back up, oversold. And we have actually a whole section just specifically for crypto. Kind of wishy-washy signals. And actually, we look at the Bitcoin chart and the Ethereum chart, and we're kind of like, it's trying to bottom, it's close. Same sort of thing, very wishy-washy. And interestingly enough, the broader altcoin market, actually, like the whole crypto universe, is still pretty weak. So kind of like what Paul was showing you on the charts. I mean, some really interesting bottom fish kind of ideas. But are we actually ready to launch into a new bull run? Maybe we're just still a little bit early. So keep that in mind. Okay, I think I'll leave the broadcast at that. Thank you so much, Ben. Excellent job as always. Thank you, Paul. Great summary, great commentary, great analysis. Closing thoughts. Paul can pretty much tell you probably exactly what Paul's going to say, but let's have him say it himself. Closing thoughts for these good people, Paul?
The same thing, the same every week. Manage your risk.
But let's maybe say it with a Swedish accent this week. I don't know.
What's new to say if I do the same thing every damn week?
But as long as it's okay, fine. There's Paul's sort of hard ass attitude. Okay, fine.
No, it's just the same thing. I don't have anything new to say.
But that's good. Say it again. Let's. I want you to say it with an Ethiopian accent.
I don't know what Ethiopian accents mean.
All right, to hell with
Closing thoughts. BTR, I posted on the chat. Someone from TRI said he's a nice altcoin to look at.
Yeah, I sure like that CTX. That's a cute little name.
No, another one. I send it now.
Oh, cool. All right, so I'm not going to mention that one. I see the one, and then I see you also tweeted out a message from Mr. Biden putting on medals backwards. So, anyway, long and short of it, Paul wants you all to get rich, so trade your damn setups, all right?
Yeah, trade your setups. Manage your risk.
Manage your risk. All right, now, the good part about it is Ben, I like his weekly message, so let's see if I can get that out of him. Any closing thoughts for these good people, Ben?
Let's send all of our positive love and energy to Brian and Liam tomorrow.
Yay! Love it. Thank you.
Yeah,
Appreciate
I'm agreeing with that.
it.
Yeah.
You're awesome. And who is it? Roland's got you a whole list of altcoins to look at. Maybe one or two of them might be something worth looking at, eh?
Yep.
All right. Okay, everybody. It is slightly past 8 o'clock on the West Coast. I guess 10 o'clock back east. I guess starting the beginning of Paul's Day. So why don't we leave it at that? Have yourselves a fantastic rest of your morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world. All the best. Ben, you want to take us on out of here? The only thing left for us to say is...
Bye for now.